Brian Senior Political Truths, 8:32. I'm just going to do a quick video here. This is a couple days old, this thing with Jen Psaki and how she just told the biggest lie that the Democrats have ever told, and that is one gigantic feat. That is almost impossible to climb that mountain and reach the top of the lies from the Democrat Party. Let's go ahead and take a look at what she said. This is amazing. Floored me. Just absolutely floored me. Listen to this.
For people who fly into the country. So if somebody walks into the country right across the river, does somebody ask them to see their vaccination card?
Well, let me explain to you again, Peter, how our process works. As individuals come across the border, and they are both assessed for whether they have any symptoms. If they have symptoms, the intention is for them to be quarantined. That is our process. They're not intending to stay here for a lengthy period of time. I don't think it's the same thing.
Wait. What? What you talking about, Willis?
Wow. Yes. Wait, what is exactly right? You have got to be kidding me. But this just goes to prove something I've been talking about for a while, and that is the Democrats don't believe anything they're telling us. They are propagandists. They are 100% dedicated to the cause. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's their attitude. They are never going to change their line of reasoning. If no matter how ridiculous it is, they're going to stick to their guns, and the media is going to back them up on it. I just can't believe that she actually said that they're not intending to stay here for any lengthy period of time. There's no human being on planet Earth that actually believes that. I don't care how much you love Joe Biden, how much you voted for him, how many times you voted for him. You cannot possibly believe that people that are coming here are just going to be here for a few weeks and then go home, or a few months and then go home, or maybe even a couple years and go home. No, they're here because they want to be here. They know that America is going to provide them the best opportunity to maximize the potential for making their lives better and the lives of their families better. That is indisputable evidence, no matter how much the Democrats say that this country is racist and unfair and keeps brown and black people, quote unquote, down. They know that's a lie. That's part of the propaganda too. They're going to keep saying it even though they know it's not true. But this is the doozy of all doozies. They're not going to be here for any lengthy period of time. That's just amazing. She also mentioned something about quarantining and checking them for COVID symptoms. You know, I thought the big threat was asymptomatic people that didn't show symptoms. So what are they doing with those? Back in August, it was estimated that 40,000 COVID positive illegal immigrants had been released into the U.S., according to the Washington Examiner. So 40,000, and it's even gotten worse. Every month there's more and more and more people coming across, and they're saying there might be as many as 2 million people this year. So that's just an astronomical number. If there's 2 million people that come in this year, they're estimating that 20%, 18 to 20% are COVID positive. That means could be as many as 400,000 COVID positive people coming into the country unchecked, unregulated, unknown. So let's see what else she had to say, because it doesn't get any better. I mean, she just keeps going on, wah, 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 and it just gets worse and worse as she goes on. Let's see what else she had to say.
It's not the same thing. These are individuals, as we've noted and as we've been discussed. We are expelling individuals based on Title 42 specifically because of COVID, because we want to prevent a scenario where large numbers of people are gathering, posing a threat to the community and also to the migrants themselves. So those are the policies that we put in place, in large part because, again, the CDC continues to recommend Title 42 be in place given we're facing a global pandemic.
Do you have a plan?
Well, of course I do. Don't be ridiculous.
Okay, now that we've been discussed about it, we've been discussed. That's a great line. She's acting like they want to protect the quote-unquote migrants, the illegal immigrants, right? They want to protect them. They are incentivizing people to come in. Remember a few months ago, they all had Joe Biden t-shirts, And there's reports on tonight that the Haitian people that are coming across, the 10,000 or however many of them there are, that they're like, we love Joe Biden. We know he's going to give us an open door. And he has. And it's just amazing. Like I said before, if there's 2 million people coming in, there's going to be about 400,000 that are COVID positive, maybe more. So according to, they're lying, they're propagandists. They're saying they want to protect illegal aliens and these poor humanitarian, they're people in need of humanitarian aid, and they just want to help everybody. That's a crock. They don't want to help anyone but themselves. They figure they can get these folks in. This is not new. I didn't come up with this idea. The Democrats want to there's no coincidence that they're going into Texas. You know, when the Cuban immigrants come to America, they go to Florida because it's an island off of Florida. Well, what is Haiti? It's an island off of Florida. It's slightly further away than Cuba, but it's still an island off of Florida. Why aren't they going to Florida? You know, because Texas is about to turn blue. It's purple. It's like pretty close to turning one way or the other. It's a strategic event by the Democrat Party. They're literally planning to have people come to Texas from other countries, and they're acting like they care about these people. I got some stats about how much they care about these people coming through Central America and Mexico. In Washington Examiner in 2018, there was an article that estimated there was about 2,200 deaths, 180,000 rapes or coerced sexual assaults. 138,000 regular assaults, physical abuse or whatever, 81,000 cases of drug dealing, drug smuggling, 27,000 cases of human smuggling, which, you know, human smuggling, I didn't see they didn't outline exactly what that entailed in the article, but that's obviously sex slaves. They're not smuggling people in because they're really good shoe shiners or whatever. You know, somebody needed a shoe shiner to be smuggled in. There's a specific purpose for the human trafficking, and that's mostly sex slaves. And so that's 27,000 in a year. So in this article, it says, in all, we estimate that the immigrants will suffer 1.1 million traumatic or adverse events trying to reach the U.S. in 2018. So that's based on an estimate of 711,000 crossings. Now we're looking at almost triple that amount. 2 million crossings is what they're looking at now. That would bring the number of rapes to over 500,000 in 1 year. 500,000 rapes in 1 year is about what that ratio's out to if it goes from 700,000 to 2 million. So they're not really concerned about women's rights. They're not concerned about the black and brown people and their humanitarian needs, because they're luring them into the jungles to get raped. And I saw another article that said as many as 80% of the Central American women that come up through Mexico and through the jungles of Central America, 80% they think get raped or sexually assaulted. So don't try to act like you're concerned in the slightest bit about the health and welfare of these immigrants, illegal immigrants coming up through Central America. This is just, it's amazing the things that they say. They're just dedicated propagandists. That's their story. They're going to stick to it, and it's just sad, and we have to end it. I don't know what we're going to do. Thank God Texas is starting to take some steps to stand up for themselves and protect their own border, because Biden and Harris and all the Democrats want them all in. I also saw an interview earlier yesterday where they were talking about, oh, well, what are we going to do about the immigration and all this? And they tried to get this reconciliation bill and sneak in the DACA into the reconciliation, and it got shot down by the what do they call her, the Senate, the brain fart, anyway, the lady that dictates the procedures in the Senate said that you can't include that in the budgetary process because it has nothing to do with the budget. It's about passing a law. So at least there's one decent person in Washington, D.C. that put a stop to that. But it was funny because a reporter I was watching, it was like a PBS thing, and the reporter was like, well, what are we going to do? They got to do something. I can't believe they stopped this. It needs to get through. Well, you know what? Donald Trump wanted to get it through too, and Nancy Pelosi said no. Chuck Schumer said no. We're not going to give the DACA people citizenship because Donald Trump suggested it. Donald Trump was wheeling and dealing and trying to make a deal and trying to sweeten the deal for the Democrats to build a border wall for funding. And the Democrats said, nope, we're not going to do it. We hate you so much. We hate you way more than we care about the quote unquote black and brown people coming up from the southern border. And we don't care about them. We just hate you. We can't give you success, even if it means a good thing for them. And you know what happened? President Trump built the wall anyway without the funding. So not only did they screw over the Central Americans, the Mexicans, the Haitians, and all the people coming up that brought their kids, all the DACA people, not only did they screw over the DACA people, but the wall got built anyway. So the Democrats are just so political and so propagandized. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I got time for. Brian Singer, Political Truths, 8:32. I am out.